Hello, I'm back. It's Evelyn from Magellan College Counseling, and we are at the final video of your Common App playlist. We've gone through all the sections of the Common Application except for one, which you may or may not have to fill out, and I'll explain that in a moment. Right before you watched this video, I hope you watched the one that showed you how to add colleges to your list and how to waive your FERPA rights. Really, really important. So now that you have colleges on your list, let me share my screen with you. And we are going back to our handy dandy favorite Common App. We are going to look at the courses and grades section. I'm just going to go through a couple tips for you. You'll see right here that it's telling me that I have one college that requires it. You may not have any colleges that require it, right? Look at all of these colleges on my list that don't require this specific section, the self-reported courses and grades. So if you have a 0 here, which it'll say if none of your schools require it, then you're good. You don't have to fill out this section at all. But how is that possible that all of these colleges don't require my courses and grades? They're going to get your courses and grades because they're going to get your transcript, and they're going to put your paper transcript basically, or however your school and your counselor at school transmits your transcript. They will take that and they will put it into their system and analyze and evaluate your courses and grades that way. There are some schools, though, that want you to help them analyze and evaluate your courses and grades by having you self-report everything. So as you can see, I do have one school that does require it. So I'm going to open up this section. I'm just going to tell you a couple things that are a little interesting about this section. So I'm going to click into ninth grade. Now you'll see I already have some green checks here because I've already started going through it. But it's going to have you report 9th, 10th, and 11th. And 12th, but I'll get to that in a second. And you really, really need to have a transcript sitting in front of you. In fact, the first question that they ask is, I can access a copy of my transcript or official grades. So you're going to say yes to that. You're going to hit continue, and it's going to take you to ninth grade. So I'm going to click into edit ninth grade. Now you'll see that, remember, we reported in the education section, we reported all of the high schools at which you have taken courses for credit. So when you click on this pull down menu, it's going to list for you one or more high schools that you told it you've taken courses at. If you get to this point and you suddenly realize that you did have a course for credit at a different school, you're just going to click out of it and go back to the education section and add that additional secondary school. Okay, so you're gonna, so when it says transcript number 1, what that means is if during ninth grade you took courses at 2 different schools, you're gonna report 2 different transcripts. So I'm gonna report my home high school first. I'm gonna tell it which school year it was. This was ninth grade, the grading scale, the schedule. And then you're just gonna start reporting all of your courses and your grades. So in the subject box, I'm going to add something else here. In the subject box, this is kind of like the generic subject, right? So I'll give it English because I don't think I reported in English yet. So English was like the generic subject, but the name of the class was English 1 or English literature, whatever it was called. This third column right here is the course level. Most of your courses are college prep. If you have a question about which courses on your transcript are college prep, you should ask your counselor at school. It's confusing because they put regular standard up here at the top, and then everything else from here down is actually alphabetical. So I just want you to know that this college prep is here. By the way, if you took a course that is dual enrollment, meaning it's a college course, this would be where you report that, right? You can report dual enrollment and the colleges will understand that it was a college course. So most of you are going to list most everything as either AP, college prep, possibly dual enrollment, maybe honors, and maybe international baccalaureate. Okay, so I'm going to report this as college prep. I'm going to give myself a grade for first semester, a grade for second semester. I'm going to leave this final blank. And the reason is I get 2 grades per year, first semester, second semester. I don't get a final grade. There's no averaging. So it's okay to leave that blank. You should not average these 2 together. Then you're going to tell the Common App how many credits it says on your transcript. Most of you, it's either 0.5 for a semester or 1 for a semester. Most high schools, they're very standardized. So whatever the number is, it's going to be the same value for every semester course. You can keep adding courses. This is where I added a second transcript. So in other words, I took a course through a different high school, even if it's online, during the same school year. So that would be this button here, add courses from another transcript. Okay, so I think I've covered pretty much everything I want to cover to get you to where you need to be to enter your courses and grades. And 9th, 10th, and 11th look exactly alike. You're going to do the exact same thing. And when you're done, you're going to click this box that says, I have reported all of my courses for this grade. That's why I have a green check here for 9th grade. I have not done that for 10th and 11th. I'm not going to walk you through. I will tell you, just like we had in other sections of the Common App, we have this handy dandy preview button. And so you can see exactly what you've entered. So here's what I entered for 9th grade, 2 different schools. I haven't entered much for 10th and 11th because I didn't want to waste your time. But you're going to do the exact same thing with 10th and 11th. Now, 12th is a little bit different because look at the question that it's asking you. Do you have 12th grade courses on your transcript with official grades? If you're applying in the fall of your senior year, you don't have official grades yet, right? You're just getting started with your courses. If you took a summer course, that may be considered 12th grade. You should ask your counselor at school. It might depend on where you took it. So you may say yes to this question, but remember, it's the with official grades part that's the important part. Remember that you reported all the classes that you're taking up here in the education section, right? We reported all of our current or most recent courses that we're taking in 12th grade. If you say yes to this question, then it's going to ask you the same thing that 9th, 10th, and 11th looks like. And when you get to the end, you'll click the box that says, I've reported all my courses for this grade. Okay, there's one more section. I promise you, this is the last section. It's called other courses. So here's what they ask. Do you have any other courses on your transcript with grades? What they really mean is, did you take any high school level courses for credit before you got to high school? So that could be most of the time, it's either math, like algebra, geometry, possibly algebra 2, and or a foreign language. If you took any of those categories of courses in 7th or 8th grade, this is where you report it. So let me tell you a little bit confusing thing about this. So you're going to click into, you're going to say yes, and you're going to click into edit other courses. And you're going to say, wait a minute, I took Spanish 1B I took Spanish 1A in 7th grade. I took Spanish 1B in 8th grade, but I took them in middle school, and my middle school's not here in this pull down because why would I report my middle school, right? So here's the thing. The high school that you will graduate from is actually the school that will grant you the credit, that has granted you the credit for taking those courses. So even though you took this class in middle school, you're going to list your high school as the school name. So I know that's a question that I get all the time. Remember, semester 1, semester 2, skip final. But that's really kind of my overview for how to do this courses and grades section. And remember, you may not have to do courses and grades at all. So you really want to make sure you put all of your colleges onto your Common App list before you start entering courses and grades. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time. You definitely want your transcript right in front of you when you do it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been really helpful. It's been a pleasure walking you through the Common Application. I spend a lot of time digging around the Common App and trying to find out those things where people kind of get stuck. So I hope that my videos have been helpful in making sure you are actively progressing through your Common App and getting to the finish line. It's all about presenting yourself fabulously, getting to the finish line and submitting, and of course, getting great results. So I wish you the best.